how are you guys doing today? My name is Anima and today we're going to post-commentated Pokemon ORAS Wi-Fi Battle for you all against the wonderful, magnificent Salle, one of my oldest, longest-lasting subscribers. Thank you for appearing on the channel today, Sally Bear. Today's question of the day is going to be at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that bad boy. I'm going to remind you that the like button exists, but of course, it's completely up to you whether or not you go and smash it. You could be a rebel and touch it up right now. You could, and I would appreciate that very much so, but it is completely up to you. Are you going to join the rebellion? Are you the rebellious sort? I don't know. Do you wear socks and slippers? I'm not really sure if that's a rebellious thing or just something kind of strange. Anyway, and either way, this battle took place on my stream. I don't really stream painfully often on weekends. On weekends is more the thing because I want to accommodate everybody, including American viewers and so on and so forth. By the way, this video doesn't have face cam, and for that I apologize. It's just so much easier to not have face cam for post-commentated videos because I could just stuff the audio in there, and you know, it's just like so nice. It's so much easier for me, you don't understand. But if you do want face cam, if you do miss my face, I suggest you stick around because in an hour and a half there's going to be episode 1 of the channel's Dark Souls 2 Let's Play, and that is full face cam for all the scared and frightened reactions. Not really, because it's one of my favourite games and I know it pretty damn well. But you know, it's still an interesting ride and you will see my face if you miss that. So yeah, this is a team this is like an OU tier match. This is a team I cobbled together really quickly. I normally put a little bit more thought in my teams than this, but I just grabbed some shit from my box and I chucked them together. Just some OU shit and some NU stuff and like a poor little EU Nidoking there, doesn't know what he's doing. Poor little NU Raticate is just like, what is going on right now? And Salle has a very monstrous and scary OU team. And yeah, let's see how I fared in this grandiose battle. Let's press play and see precisely what occurred. I'm lying because I'm pressing play after it's all sped up and it's much easier to commentate. So out comes hashtag Nappy Nation as I lead with Undeath, the Garchomp. So he is fearing me being the Scarf variant, so he's going to switch the hell out of there and go right into Rotom as I go for the Dragon Claw. And this is going to do a moderately, not very much amount of damage because I'm actually a bulky Garchomp. Max HP, max defense, so I'm going to go into Tachigami as my opponent makes a great prediction right now. Not going for the Will-O-Wisp, in fact just going for the Volt Switch on a ground type. So that was pretty damn ballsy of him. I was trying to get burnt so that I'd get my guts and maybe retaliate with a Facade and so on. But I should have known better because Salle knows NU. In fact, most of the people on my stream, well, the main core, my main core of people know NU very well. So there's no point trying to get any cheeky shenanigans and try and use their ignorance sort of thing. It might work on a standard OU player, but definitely not against these people. So out comes I don't fucking know the Heatran, which is a great name for a Heatran. He was able to get up its rocks as I went for the Earthquake, as it runs off to switch into Rotom. I didn't want to overpredict, which is why I went for the EQ. But yeah, he's going to stay in and go for the Hydro, but it does a moderate amount of damage, and I'm going to come just shy of taking out this Rotom, which is really infuriating actually, because I think with a higher roll I would have been able to take it out, but it just wasn't gonna happen there, was it? So it's going to get its Chesto Berry. Don't bloody ask me how a washing machine is able to eat a Chesto Berry. Don't ask me these things, they're awkward. So I'm going to go for the rest here. Because I've been beaten to death and washed a little bit too much. And I'm like a land shark, you know? Water's not really my thing. So I do go to bed, and he obviously didn't expect me to be a rest variant because he does go for the Will-O-Wisp, trying to burn me and get me to be completely useless. So I do manage to luckily get the Dragon Claws. He's going to land another Hydro Pump. This is really good for him. But honestly, I really like it when I land all my sketchy moves, so I really can't fault the situation. I'm going to go for the Sleep Talk, and he's honestly got a really good chance of switching his Gengar unscathed because 2 out of 3 options will be completely fine for the Gengar. This is a complete misplay, stupid, just brain fart moment. I forgot that Gengar even had Dazzling Gleam as an option, which is why I left my Garchomp in instead of switching into damn Goober, who could have coped with this thing with his eyes closed. I really shouldn't have done that. That was just ignorance and me not being used to playing well on a stream. I was a bit like full of ADD and wasn't concentrating. But I'll try and get better while playing on a stream, I do promise. But yeah, so we're going to go for the Lava Plume. It's not going to do shit to this damn washing machine. You'd think casting a washing machine into a fire frog would do something, but no. So he's not going to overpredict, he's just going to go straight for the Hydro Pump. It's not going to do an awful lot to Latias at all, and he is going to switch out and go into IDFK, the Rotom. Yeah, Rotom. Hi, you've changed. The Heatran, I just want to call it a Rotom or a Goober, because mine's called Goober. And I get the defog off, which is pretty nice, and I'm free to switch into Burgundy. This turns out to be a pro play, as it goes for Toxic, which I didn't predict, by the way. And I'm going to go straight for the Sludge Wave, I believe, predicting the Rotom to come out. So I do one good play, and and manage to finally get rid of the damn Rotom. So out comes hashtag Nappy Nation, and I decided to switch out here into my Heatran as my opponent double switches into Ryder. So I don't think this is the matchup he wanted, because obviously I can destroy this thing, and unless he has Brick Break, he can't really touch me. I mean, he can knock off, but it's going to be at quite the disadvantage. So I actually predict him to switch back out into his Heatran, so I went into Burgundy. So he is actually going to switch out and go into the Heatran as expected, so that worked out really, really nicely for me. But now that we've been doing all these erratic, crazy switches, I did just decide to do for the obvious play, and he's able to just kind of evade that quite nicely. So, yeah, so we're having to do layers upon layers of predictions to kind of cope with each other. Salle knows how I play because he watches all my videos, and I'm trying to concentrate and sort of play around with this this kind of sketchy team that I'm using here. So here's the Draco Meteor, and it's not going to do too much to Goober because I'm fucking Goober, bitch, and I'm especially defensive Heatran. But he's just kind of going for it really because I can't really touch him. I'm going to go for the Stealth Rock here. Just so you know, rocks are good. Rocks are good. They impale stuff and do all kinds of weird shit. I don't know why the trainers throw the Pokeballs into the rock specifically. They could throw it somewhere else, but it's just going to happen. So I actually predicted him to go for the Defog. No, wait, no, I bloody didn't. I expected him to switch out, which he actually did not. So he goes to Defog, and I did not like that, so that's why I went back into my Heatran. So my double switch prediction did not pay off there at all. It really, really didn't. But now he is finally gonna budge. I really did expect him to switch out because I thought, yeah, I expected this damn thing to come back in eventually. To try and get a flash fire off like a lava plume or something like that. So that's what I was really hoping for when I went into my Nidoking there. But yeah, no, I'm going to switch on to my Peenix because I know I can take a lava plume. I know I can take any one thing this thing goes for, and you know, unless it's flash cannon, I'll be fine. But yeah, I tried to keep going into my Peenix to bluff that I had Earthquake and kind of try and demonstrate with my adamancy to go into Peenix that I had Earthquake, because I thought, you know, no one would be this stubborn if they didn't have Earthquake, right? So he is actually going to fall for it, and he is going to switch out and go into Latias, and this works out great for me because I am able to go for the U-turn and not kill it. So this thing, just like the washing machine, is going to survive. I do believe that Latias was on 1 HP, so it's a bit it's a bit ridiculous donkey, if you ask me. And yeah, Goober is just going to be sitting pretty with the leftovers really. So he's going to go for the Defog, which is going to be beneficial to both of us. And this is why I don't like Defog, because you help out your opponent too. I really don't like that. I really don't. This is why I prefer to run spinners, but I hate being limited to using spinners. It really sucks. I hate it. It's just one thing I just really don't like. So out comes Sexy, and I know it. And man, I'm not equipped to deal with a Mega Gallade. My Garchomp's dead. I can't deal with this. I was really hoping he'd overpredict and go for the Psychic type move. But no, he's going to go for the safe close combat. That's going to destroy my Goober. And that's really bad. But at least the Latias is already dead on his side of the field, so it's not too bad. He's going to withdraw now, fearing the Acrobatics, and go into Ryder, as I do in fact go straight for the Acrobatics. I don't have Earthquake, and I just don't. I really don't. So I'm going to go for the U-turn. Which kind of does show that I don't have Earthquake, to be honest, but I'm not even sure if it would have killed that bloody thing. But we're going to get the U-turn off, and the reason I went straight for the U-turn as opposed to like hard switching, fearing Sucker Punch, is because I thought he might SD, and if he SDs, it's really going to be bad. It's going to be so bad. So I'm going to go into Burgundy after this, knowing I can just about live one Sucker Punch, but if this was at +2, I would definitely not have been able to live that Sucker Punch. And I went for the T-Bolt, just in case he wanted to switch out into Nappy Nation to take a potential ground type or you know, I wasn't going to go for a poison type move, but you know what I mean. So we're going to get taken out by the Shadow Ball, and that is basically my one chance of destroying the Heatran gone. But it's because I knew that my Latias wouldn't be able to take a Shadow Ball. We are able to, I think, win the speed tie, I believe, and take this thing out with a Draco Meteor. And IDFK is going to come back out I'm just gonna go for the recover here. Because I think, you know, I just need to preserve Latias, kind of, and just, you know, maybe try and crit this Heatran to actual death. Maybe we can pull through, I don't really know. But either way, this Heatran is going to give it the Toxic. And this is just great, you know, it's just grand. So, Latias is on a timer. I'm going to switch out right now and go into my Peenix. Because there's no rocks on the field right this very second, as he's actually going to go for the double Toxic, which surprised me. I was expecting the Lava Plume. Just, you know, and I was trying to sneak in my Archeops before the rocks appeared, so I'm actually going to go for the Stone Edge, and at this point he was like, well, GG, but... But because of Stone Edge, I revealed that I really don't have Earthquake, and I never had Earthquake, and I was being a lying bastard the whole time. But we're going to go for the Defog here. Just get rid of the rocks so that Archeops can kind of come back in again and maybe blast this thing with the crit Stone Edge to end all Stone Edges. That's what I've been hoping for, because I think a crit Stone Edge might actually kill this Heatran. So right now I'm just going for Psychic, just to kind of try and whittle this thing away. I don't really have a hope in hell of taking it out, to be honest, unless my Archeops can pull through for me. So I'm just waiting on my Peenix to rise from the ashes and do all kinds of weird, scary Peenix things. So right now we're going to switch out. I'm going to send in my beautiful, gorgeous, shining Peenix as he goes for the Lava Plume. This is a bit tragic because he does get a critical hit, and that does really, really suck for me because it puts me square in my Defeatist range. So he got the crit that I really, really craved, that I really needed, and I don't actually know if critical hits will affect Defeatist, if Defeatist affects critical hits, rather. I think it might do. I think I didn't have a chance as soon as I was in my Defeatist range. So it kind of sucks, but, you know, it's my fault for switching him in. I could have tried to, you know, not do that. And it really, really stinks, because I think maybe if I didn't switch him in, I might have had a chance. I might have had a chance to, you know, do something about it, but I did try and switch in my Archeops. Just because I thought at some point he's going to put up the bloody rocks and let me die to my Toxic, and I'm going to, you know, because if he just spammed Stealth Rock, like, I probably would have done that. I probably would just start spamming Stealth Rock, so that the Archeops would guaranteed have, like, some damage on it, you know, and just let this thing die to the poison. So, yeah, I'm actually going to survive this next iteration of poison on 5 HP and go straight for that Draco Meteor. I cannot kill this thing. I need the mother and father and sister and uncle and awkward aunt of all critical hits to do anything about this. But he actually went for the Roar just because he wanted to end the battle with Mega Gallade being out in a boot. But that's not going to be the case because he did poison me earlier, didn't you, Salle? And yeah, that is going to be the game, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I thought that was a pretty interesting match. I wanted to upload it because there were some pretty good plays in that game, I feel. Some definite, you know, trickery and stuff. I do need to practice more in terms of battling on a stream. It's harder for me because my, like, ADD comes out full force. I don't actually have ADD, by the way. I'm sorry. I just get easily distracted. It comes out really bad, and I just want to stare at everything and stare at the chat and blah blah blah. So I'm going to try and get better. But to be honest, if you want to battle me at my full force, hit me up on Twitter. When I'm looking for battles, that is the best way, that is the most reliable way to get in touch, as I'm not completely set on a streaming schedule yet. If you are interested in joining in on a stream, which I do suggest you come along to, they are so fun, you guys are just so funny, and so great, and so nice to be around. And streaming is an absolute joy with all of you. You're very talkative, and you're chatty, and I try and chat with you guys back, and you all guilt me that I'm ignoring you, and I'm not. So it's really fun. I'm kidding. It's seriously though, it is really good fun. But yeah, no, today's question of the day is, what is your favorite Pokemon that is an inanimate object? So I really don't know which one mine is. I quite like Doublade and Aegislash. Maybe Rotom Frost, because he can keep my beers cold, you know. I don't know. I quite like Rotom Heat. I think it's cute. I think it's a cute little oven with oven mitts on and stuff, and that's something that really, as a woman, that really appeals to. Sorry, I'm just making a bad joke and laughing at it. But no, I don't really know. I don't really know what my favourite inanimate object Pokemon is. I'm gonna have to really think about this and go to the mountains and train and meditate in tranquility to find an answer to tell you all. But yes, folks, I really do hope that you've enjoyed today's battle. Stay tuned for in an hour or so we will have our very first episode of Dark Souls 2 Let's Play, and if you missed my face you can go and check that shit out. Thank you so much for watching once again. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you soon, my friends. Bye bye!